What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to season 3, episode 4 of Hit the Books, podcast where we dive deep into the world of sports and sports gambling. Each episode, we break down all the NFL matchups and trends for the week, provide analysis, and offer up our best bets and betting advice. So let's jump into this week's episode of Hit the Books. On this week's episode, we're diving right into week 3. Week 3 is going to bring us some interesting matchups to get us through the week. I'm particularly excited about a few 16 games this week. We have an amazing 2 weeks of football done, but sadly, a good amount of injuries coming out of those first 2 weeks that we want to highlight. Not something you want to see. Another 2 games on Monday night this week, so another solid Monday to look forward to. Cannot forget about the news in the other leagues around the sports world. I know we got just under 20 days here till the NHL regular season starts. That's creeping up on us fast. I definitely didn't anticipate it coming this quickly, but definitely something to keep an eye on. And do not forget about our live stream every Sunday. We're ready to showcase our 5 favorite games of the week. Give our winning bets on those live Sundays, 10 a.m. on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, and more. All right, boys, let's jump in this week's episode. Let's introduce my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Ace, let's start off with you this week, buddy. What do you got for us? Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, boys. Ready to talk about another week of sports here. Leading the card on the NFL card going in. I think I'm like plus 2 or 3 units here. Couple of bad beats this weekend, but locked and loaded for this week. Ready to roll. Got some good baseball going right now too. So, hey, my boys got a captain up in Boston for the hockey team, so that's pretty exciting.
Very, very big news out of Boston there. We will get to that. Huff, why don't you start us off here next? Another week 3 of the NFL. We're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? You can already hear how I sound. The Monday Night Football did me pretty dirty. Steelers get the win. I was happy to be there. It was a great game. TJ Watt gets the crowd up right after the Renegade. Steelers get the touchdown. Steelers get the win, more importantly. But hell of a game. I had a great time, but I'm paying for it 2 days later still.
Oh, we can tell, buddy. But it's good. Sounds like you had fun. Definitely a great game on that Monday night. We have another 2 games here this week. Mackie, let's finish it off with you before we jump into this week's episode. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, just Cowboys look good. That's all I really gotta say. Boys down there didn't have too much hype coming into the season for them, but they look like one of the best teams in the league. That defense is rolling. So, have to talk about them a little.
Good stuff, boys. Lots to look forward to as we get into week 3 here. Some notable dates to keep in mind. We're heading to Dallas here. 9 days, not too long till we get down to Dallas, play some golf, watch the Patriots. The Cowboys battled out at AT&T Stadium on Sunday. See our buddy Addison. Lots of stuff, lots of content. We're excited to all head down there. Like I said, NHL regular season 20 days away. Pens and Blackhawks playing here in Pittsburgh on that first night. Sid and Bedard on the 10th. Super pumped to go. I'm taking Huff, I think. So going to be a good night. But let's jump right into the NFL. Some news and things to start us off. Let's do the power rankings for this week. Same exact as last week. Number 5, Kansas City Chiefs. 4, the Miami Dolphins. 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. 2, the Dallas Cowboys. And 1, the San Francisco 49ers. Like I said, same as last week. Huff made a note that we were the same on baseball and on football last week. So just interesting to say the least. What do you guys think? Anything on that?
Yeah, those Cowboys, man, still sitting at the 2 spot. I think they deserve the 1, but when it comes down to it, you can obviously make a case for the 49ers as well. Chiefs looked like their usual selves, getting a nice win over those Jaguars, keeping them in the top 5. So, yeah, these teams are rolling though.
Yeah, not much to argue about in the top 5. I think any way you put it with those top 2 teams, whether it's 49ers or the Cowboys, as long as you have them 2 up top, they're definitely the 2 best teams in the league. And Philadelphia, they're not looking too good in my opinion. I think they're definitely the one team in this top 5 that I could see slide in the next couple of weeks.
That's crazy that you think they could get sliding like this early on. I mean, all they're doing is winning games, though. No.
Yeah, but it's not like I guess how I expect them to. Like if another team, if they're, I mean, there's a lot of teams right on their tail. If other teams start picking up wins in commanding fashion, I could definitely see me slide these Dolphins up and the Chiefs as well, and put someone else at that 5 spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stick with them, especially after last year. They're rolling. I mean, 2-0 doesn't matter how you get them as long as you get those wins. And I like to think their best football's in front of them. They're too talented of a roster to be playing so poorly. Not even that poorly, but like playing the way they are. I think they're only going to get better from here. We saw DeAndre Swift turn up in the spotlight, so um, yeah, I expect them to stay strong in the NFC. I still think the Cowboys steal that division. When do they meet up for the first time, Mackie? Do you know?
It's not early. It's definitely later in the season. I don't have it.
That's going to be such
Um,
a crucial game whenever they do. And I do like the Cowboys there, but I still think the Eagles are the class of the NFC with the Cowboys and the Niners. So I expect them to stay up in that top five or at least around it all year long.
they play in Philly week 9, and then they play again week 14.
That'll be interesting to watch. Um, Cowboys hottest team in the league right now, I guess you could say.
Yes, sir. Got to keep it
Uh,
up.
That's why
Pretty.
they're consistently in our rankings. Mackie puts them in our chat. Don't worry, he's always up there with them at number one, coming in every
Oh
week.
yeah. Oh
But it's
yeah.
San Francisco 49ers until proven otherwise, in my opinion.
And we got another cakewalk this week against Arizona too. So nothing really to prove yet, but coming down the schedule, they're gonna have some tough games. And they got Chargers and Chiefs back to back, I think. So it's never easy.
You said Chiefs right there. I mean, that's a team that's always going to hang around in our rankings. I feel like all year long, all for the next decade probably. As long as Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback in Kansas City, they'll be in the top five week in and week out, in my opinion. Speaking of another team that hasn't played great football yet either.
Real excited about those Cowboys. I love that matchup this week. It's a weird spread, but I'm very interested in that matchup. But let's go over to the Lions. The Lions running back David Montgomery, who did not finish Sunday's game against Seattle and was visibly limping afterwards, told reporters that it would take a couple weeks for his quad injury to heal. Rookie Jamar Gibbs will get his chance to be the number one back in Detroit. And they bounce back after losing outright to Seattle as a 5.5 point favorite last week. What are you thinking about this one, Ace?
Yeah, my first question is he going to get the lion's share of the work here? I've been seeing everywhere in fantasy in news in like the way that they play the game. They trust those like power backs like they did with Jamal Williams last year. I've seen him shooting up the boards lately. What's his name? Who's that running back there in Detroit? They're number 3. He's getting a lot of carries lately.
I don't know, but I'm kind of excited. I mean, I kind of hope that he gets the bulk of the carries coming into this. Obviously, week 3, he's going to go in as the presumptual starter. His first game is obviously a rookie, but with his first game, expecting to be the top guy in the backfield, and I think that kind of changes the way the Lions run the ball this week. Obviously, we've seen them in the past 2 games. Montgomery was kind of their up the middle guy, and they were using Gibbs for those sweeps to the outside and a lot of the outside runs. I think you're going to see Jahmyr Gibbs do a lot more and show how versatile he is and the reason that the Lions took him in the first round. I think you're going to see a lot of dumping, quick little dump plays to him in the receiving game. I'm really excited to see this opportunity for him because I wasn't too big on him coming out of Alabama, but the flashes that I've seen and I've just kind of looked at some of his highlight reels. He is really fucking athletic. So I'm excited to see what he can do, especially this early in his career. I'm not saying I expect him to be great this fast. I'm just more excited to see what he can do this fast with the bulk of the work.
I'm hoping you're right because if not, it's going to be Craig Reynolds. And the thing is, the work that he's missing out on can be done by a lot of pro running backs. But those are the valuable carries, those goal line calls, those third and short. I feel like they play the safe game. They're not running Jameer Gibbs inside. I don't see them doing that anytime soon. I feel like they can trust some of the depth guys to pick up that work and keep him sharp and ready. We saw Isaiah Pacheco last year in the playoffs. He was dynamite because his legs were fresh from the early season limitations. But I feel like they're still going to keep their offense the same. No need to change it. They've been a solid team so far. I hope they give more work though. I'd like to see it.
Those Lions, I mean, they're pesky. I love watching them each and every week, but let's shift it over here. Despite starting the season 0-2 after a loss to the Commanders, Russell Wilson became the first quarterback in NFL history to pass for 40,000 yards and rush for 5,000 yards in his career. It's a huge accomplishment. 40,000 passing, 5,000 rushing. Just incredible. Huff, what are you thinking about Russ?
Yeah, not really much to say here. It's cool to get one of those stats in there. Hasn't done much of late. I mean, this season, I'd say he's looking better. I don't think you can point the finger at him each of these games and say he's been the problem. Definitely week 1 more than week 2. You saw the Hail Mary at the end. That's obviously a fucking lucky play. I'll admit that. They couldn't convert on the 2-point conversion. But I have faith in this Broncos team. I don't think Russell Wilson has been maxed out by Sean Payton yet. I think this is going to be a longer process, a couple weeks in. I'm excited to see what he can do with him. I'm not saying I expect too much, but being a fan of his, I think this is the most expectations I've had for him coming into a season. And to see them start 0-2 is tough, but it's a new head coach. This is 2 head coaches in 2 years, technically 3 if you go back to Seattle. That's just the inconsistency that he's had throughout his career over the past 3 years. I'd like to see what he can do with a established veteran head coach in Sean Payton, but hasn't looked good to start. So I just think it needs to get better from here.
I just don't think Russ is there anymore. I mean, granted, he has these numbers, his 40,000 pass yards and 5,000 rush yards, because of his reign in Seattle where he won a Super Bowl. But he's just not there anymore. If you watch these games, he's not the same Russ. Sean Payton looks like an idiot going after Nathaniel Hackett and then starting 0-2 with this team. But I don't know. I just don't think Russ can really get back to the way he used to be. This team's just not. They're underperforming. That's 2 bad losses to 2 pretty bad teams. They probably should be 2-0 at this point. I expected them to be. So I don't think they can turn the season around to get to the playoffs. They can maybe make it respectable, but that's about it.
Do you think there's any chance they win this game against the Miami Dolphins this week?
Did you guys? I don't mean to cut
Where
you off.
is
Did you
it?
see the Vikings just traded for Cam Akers? It's not
Interesting.
really that big of news, but I don't know why the Rams
It's
are
an
getting rid of
upgrade.
him.
It's an upgrade.
Where's that game? It's gotta be
I
in
believe
Denver.
I believe it's in Miami.
If it's in Miami, absolutely no shot. But going to Denver is not always easy.
I
I
could
still
see,
don't.
I could
I don't
see
think
him.
they have
I
a
could see
chance.
them lose. I don't think the Dolphins lose, but it'll be a lot tougher than we think. That defense is still stingy. You know what's weird is every time I see these updates of that Broncos game. I mean, I watched a good bit of it, um, but it's always those big plays from Ross. I guess there's glimpses of him being decent, but the in between is consistent 3 and outs and no electricity. I saw him take off for a run once, and there was no juice in those legs anymore. But they have too
Yeah,
many
but
good
it's like you don't
players.
want him. I mean, if you're a Broncos fan, I don't really want him running the ball. Like you didn't bring him in to be a fucking Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray
But
run
you
the
brought
ball
him in to
guy.
win games. You remember when he was a Seahawk?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm the one been defending this guy. I don't think they're bringing him in to run the ball. I think like that's just part of his game now.
I think
That's
he
not
needs
like
that though. I think he needs
I,
that to be successful.
I agree. That's more. He needs to get more to the point where he's using it to extend a play like he used to, rather than run for like he's never been a rush for 70 yards in a game quarterback. I
No,
don't.
but rush for 30 to 40.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't think that I don't think at this point of his career he needs to do that, but like still has the ability to do it. But obviously, I don't know how old he is, 34, 33 now. Like, I mean, you lose that pep in your step, I guess. He's been in the league 11 years, 12 years.
And that's why the longevity of these running quarterbacks is just so like short because they can't keep the
Get your
athleticism they
Super
once
Bowl
have
while
at a
you
young
can
age.
because it goes away quick.
That's why I'm eager to see the progression of Mahomes. But tough to see for Russ, especially against a bad Commanders team. In my opinion, he got outplayed by Sam Howell out there from Washington. He's nothing special, but Broncos almost covered. That's the craziest loss if you had that money line or whatnot. I mean, you guys see that Hail Mary, Fail Mary, or it hit, and then they didn't get the 2-pointer.
Yeah, I don't. Everyone wants to talk about how good this Redskins defense is. That Broncos offense looked pretty good last week.
Yeah, a couple of long touchdowns. Interesting to see, but I don't think Russ makes any noise, like Mackie said.
Feel like we're always talking about Russ. He's always on that, always on the docket, but always an interesting one to talk about. Next here, Tyreek Hill becomes the first Miami Dolphin to receive a 99 overall rating in Madden. Well-deserved accolade for the speedy wideout. Any thoughts on this?
Best receiver in the league, in my opinion, but he got clamped last week.
Hit a
And
touchdown.
that W.
Yeah, no, they did. I don't know. That was a tough call by the refs there at the end of that one. Jesus, that was
That was
that
a
was nuts.
ridiculous play.
Oh, Mike
That's
Evans should have
also
just gotten the first down himself. Just work forward. He got thrown back. I mean, it almost worked, but like, dude, that turn. I can't believe they turned that over. That should have been a call in the field stands.
Oh,
Inconclusive, in my
it was
opinion.
overturned. I don't even think I realized that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they still got to go down and score a touchdown, though. I mean,
they were on the 10.
you still got to get in. You only had one touchdown the entire
No, I
game.
know, but it's the same thing as last week against the Eagles. How unfortunate is that? Tough to see, but that's all right. At least the games were in them.
same shit, different game.
Yeah, right.
Story of your life, yeah, or story of the last.
They're in the Brady spot. They just don't have Brady to clutch it because the defense is lights out. But that's interesting. But no, Tyreek
That
Hill, well
that
deserved.
team's
I
two
think
and
he's going to
zero.
be the O point. I really do. I think he's going to be the offensive player of the year.
Yeah, he very well could be.
Let's keep it going. Here's another one of those injuries I was talking about. Nick Chubb going down with a leg injury on Monday Night Football. Oh, brutal. Oh my gosh. but Browns signed running back Kareem Hunt back to the team today. 1-year deal, could be worth up to upwards of $4 million. So Browns just trying to fill that void for the time being, as that was a rough injury. That was hard to watch.
I feel so bad for Browns fans, dude. They get so much pain dealt their way every time there's a glimmer of hope gets taken from 'em. But that's what you get for giving Deshaun Watson such a big contract. But I'm a big Chubb guy. I don't know about you guys, so he's like
Yeah, of
probably the best
course.
pure running back in the NFL.
Yeah, he is, dude. You see the size of his freaking legs, though. I mean, he run through a brick wall. But at least you're bringing in a guy who pretty much knows this team already, knows the offense a little, and he's been in the system before. So,
I think it's going to be a 1-2 punch. So I think I like Jerome Ford.
oh yeah, definitely, yeah. But you're bringing Kareem Hunt in to be the main guy.
You
Yeah,
think though? I think he's gonna. They'll play the same roles essentially.
I think no, I think it's Ace. I kind of agree with what
Let's
you're
give him
saying.
$4 million.
I think it's more of a 1A 1B, but I think Kareem Hunt is the one.
Yeah, I mean,
He's not going
yeah,
to be out there on first and second down, so he'll be out there on third down. I feel like Ford's out there when they're power running the football. He
Yeah,
looked good. He looked good in that role too.
yeah. I mean, he was doing his job Monday night. He definitely looked good.
And that's not a tough, an easy defense to do it against. But like Huff, that game, I mean, you were there when Nick Chubb that happened. That was probably pretty tough to see. But that
Yeah, that
game
was rough.
itself must have been nuts, huh?
Yeah, that was disgusting. They showed it. They said they weren't showing it on the TV, and then they immediately show it on the jumbotron, and 60,000 people are just like, "Oh, that's fucking gross." I was like, I can't even watch that, or I'll fucking pass out.
Yeah, I have the video. It's tough to see.
True. When those kind of injuries happen, if I don't see it, I'm like, I don't want to fucking see it.
that changed the entire game too. I mean, it was all Steelers for a while after that.
Yeah, and then they played Renegade, and TJ scored just like he always does.
It's
Two
crazy.
touchdowns for the defense. Not even one, two.
I
That
wanted
Browns pick, dude.
They should just punt every time.
that first pick, that first interception. I wanted them to go down. I wanted them to just push Highsmith out on like the 5-yard line because I had so much on Najee to
Najee.
score the first touchdown in that game. I was like, please get him out of bounds. Please get him out of bounds. And then I just look up on the big
The
screen, he's
only
running
good
in.
player on the offense is the one that got in the end zone too.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 72-yarder or 73-yarder.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they're going to be hurting without Deontay as well. But I mean, Mac, you lose any hope without Nick Chubb now in those Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, dude, Deshaun Watson didn't look too good last week either. I'll say that. He gets into it way too much. I mean, just play the game of football. You're the quarterback. You're going to be targeted, and once they get into your head, you're done. But Steelers defense is obviously top 5 in the league, so it's a good defense to go up against. It's a bad game. It's Monday Night Football. It's a divisional game. I'll give him a free pass here, but he's definitely got to pick it up. I mean,
But without Chubb now, you got to lose some confidence in them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I like Kareem Hunt coming in. I mean, this division's not really panning out how I expected it to at all to start anyway. So, I don't know. We could see these Browns still. They'll still get their wins.
It's funny because I still think it's going to be Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns, like I predicted. But let's see down the stretch.
Dude,
Oh,
that Browns defense, dude. It's not a far step behind from that Steelers defense.
secondary is just weak in my opinion.
There's a little stat for you. That Monday Night Football game, Steelers haven't lost a Monday Night Football game at home in 21 straight since 1991.
Oh,
That's Mike Tomlin.
to the Cleveland Browns,
Oh,
the little
God,
brother.
man.
No, not
Yeah.
even against Cleveland. Monday night at home, Steelers they just have won 21 straight.
No, I'm saying the Cleveland Browns and the streak.
Oh yeah. No
You
chance.
hate to see that. You hate to see that. But no, I mean, what are you gonna do? They didn't end. I'm speaking wrong. They should have, but they didn't. They can't. So the Browns.
The Browns is the Browns.
Literally gonna Brown. I wish I carded it last week. Mackey took the Browns on his card, but I don't know why. Kenny Pickett just scares me right now.
Dude,
but
I was right.
I should have
was right.
rovered
I was
it.
like,
And
I
I'm
was
off
right
carding
about-
them again this week. I already locked it in. They're at plus money again in the prime time. It's like, yeah, I don't mind that.
dude, I was right about everything in that game too. I said if this offense just can't really get anything going, there's no way they're going to lose this game. And their offense played worse than I even expected them to. It's just the fucking defense, dude.
It's so good.
That defense is just absolutely ridiculous. Deshaun Watson doesn't know how to protect a damn ball.
If Kenny Pickett can just get one touchdown a game and 2 field
was-
goals,
it wasn't
we're
even-
in
That's a
every
tall
game.
order.
wasn't-
That's a
It wasn't
tall
even
order.
like a touchdown drive, dude. It was a pass. It was a 74-yard pass.
That's what I mean. That's what me and Ace are talking about. Their corners aren't that great. He should have gone. He should have went down there, but he's fast as fuck, and he was in the open field. So
No, that was a terrible coverage by the Browns
That's
defense.
literally the Cleveland Browns football. RIP. RIP Nick Chubb. Gonna miss you in fantasy.
Alrighty, boys. Lots of good news there out of the NFL, but let's jump into this week 3. Many matchups to look at, 16 in total. I have some trends to get us started for the week. Some over-under trends, because I've been all over the over-unders this year, actually. So in week 1, unders went 12-4, the best opening week for unders since 2006. Now in week 2, overs went 13-3, the most overs in a single week in the wildcard era since 1990. So I think week 3 is just going to be a total wild card. But let's get on to week 3. Let's jump right into this Thursday night football game. Giants and 49ers in San Francisco. 49ers are the favorite, 10.5 points to them. Their money line at minus 520. Giants money line at plus 400. Total at 44. Trends I got here: over 8-1 in Giants' last 9 games in week 3. Giants 2-9 straight up in their last 11 road games on Thursdays. And they lost 7 straight Thursdays overall. 49ers 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games in week 3. And Daniel Jones 1-11 straight up in his last 11 or 12 Thursday night football night games. Lots to uncover here as we jump into this Thursday night football game. Who wants to get us rolling in San Francisco?
I'll definitely get us rolling here. I've been high on this Niners team all year long. Brutal beat last week on that -7. Sean McVay getting the call from Vegas
Not
to
a
kick
beat.
3 with time
Not a beat.
expiring. You don't think that's beat?
It's not a beat. I mean, you push. It's not like if you had 7.5, that would be
But that's
absolutely
no. I'm just
hard,
saying that's
but
an insane play call. I've never seen that before, where they kick a field goal as time expires.
you know what it is? It's Shanahan against McVay too. I bet you they had something going with that spread. It's like
Yeah,
a
they
friendly
probably
little,
did, like a
like a
friendly
friendly
wager.
little.
McVay said he was doing it for the end of the season for ties for point differential.
No, I was thinking that too. It is smart. You take the points when you can, because you're not going to
They
get
already
7
had
there.
the story written up, dude. I
Yeah.
bet you it was something like a friendly little wager with McVay and Shanahan.
Yeah, but that was so tough. I mean, this 49ers team has been lights out, though. I mean, divisional games so can always be tough, but they handled their own, especially without even Brandon Ayuk, one of the best receivers in the league, one of the best young ones. But I mean, this is why they're the top ranked team in our standings every week. They're 10-point favorites in the prime time, but that 2-9 against the spread kind of scares me about the 10. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, this is. I mean, Giants with no Saquon. How can you really take them? With no Andrew Thomas on the side on the left tackle as well. So they're definitely hurting this week. But Daniel Jones showed some life in that second half against the Cardinals on his comeback. I know it's the Cardinals, but you come back from a 20-point deficit, and it definitely means something. You're still playing an NFL team, so they do have some life. But I mean, this Niners defense is actually they couldn't put up a point against Dallas, and you can definitely compare this Niners defense to the Cowboys defense. So I think Daniel Jones is definitely going to be in for a rough night with no Saquon. I'm probably not gonna take a 10-point spread, but the Niners can roll in this one. I think this could be more like a Niners Steelers week 1.
Yeah, especially like you were saying, that Cowboys defense is so similar to the Niners. I feel like there's going to be pressure in Daniel Jones' face all day long, all night long. And McCaffrey, guy's been electric. He gets in every fucking game now, and I'm probably going to take him again. You'll hear that in our Thursday live stream, but yeah, I love McCaffrey and the Niners here.
Yeah, I'm not normally leaning on a -10 spread, but I do think if I'm taking something on this game, spread wise, it's definitely going to be the 49ers, especially if there's no Saquon Barkley. I think the line will move maybe a little bit, maybe a point to 11. I'd like to get it at just an even 10. I think they can win the game by 10 or more points for sure. I really don't. I think this is one of those ones I don't really want to overthink too much. I know the money's going to be fucking all over San Francisco, but I don't want to overthink this too much. Might see a first half under, hoping the Giants don't score too much or they can hang around a little bit and keep it a close game in the first half and let the 49ers run away with it in the third. But as of now, I'm definitely leaning on the 49ers with the points.
That 49ers team is so good. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. Case for player of the year. Some position. MVP maybe? Who knows?
Yeah,
His name is everywhere.
Right? Where was he at in that whack ranking, Mackie? I mean, he was 2
no,
2 or 3.
no way, dude. No, he wasn't.
I thought he
Was
was.
he?
Yeah, I think he was. I mean, look at
That's
his stats. Look at his stats through the
his
first 2
stats aren't
weeks.
you know, his stats really aren't that crazy though. That's the thing. I mean, that team is just they're
Doesn't he have
rolling.
like 5 passing touchdowns though?
Let me look into
Maybe
it.
1 pick, maybe.
No, he has 426 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
They were all in the first. So he got none last game. Interesting.
I don't know.
It
I'm just
was
looking at his full games or his full season stats, but
yeah, because game 1 he threw 2 to Ayuk. Maybe it was because Ayuk was hurt last week.
yeah. And the
That means
Debo
Brock
though.
Purdy's due. I mean, we saw what the Cardinals even did to him. We saw what the Cowboys did, but the Cardinals fucking even though they lost, they put up how many points against them? You're telling me the Niners can't cover 10? Oof, I think I might be riding this one too.
It's gonna be close. I don't know if I can put a 10-point spread on my card, but
You do it in
I don't know
college
if I lean.
football.
So different.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing.
College football is just
Alrighty, that's going to wrap up what we got on Thursday. Make sure to check out our video released tomorrow morning of our in-depth analysis of that game. Let's jump into Sunday here, boys. 1 p.m. to get us started. Titans and Browns in Cleveland. Cleveland the favorite here, 3.5 points for them. Their money line minus 166. Titans money line plus 140. Total at 39.5. The only trend I got here, Cleveland 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games at home, playing exceptionally well at home as of late last season and early this season. What are you guys thinking here as we jump into this first 1:00 game? Mackie, why don't you start us off with this one?
yeah. I like this game a lot actually. I'm probably not gonna have a play on it. Just a really good football game. Those Titans love to stick around. We saw what they did last week against those Chargers. Obviously, that offense can roll. They come out with a nice overtime win, but those Browns, I was hiring them to start the season, but I don't know. Last week kind of scared me with that offense, and obviously no Nick Chubb. You got to get Kareem Hunt back in the swing of things. So I would like to see the Browns pull out a win here. I think that they can pull out a win here, but 3 points against this Titans team. Titans loved. We know Mike Vrabel kicks field goals down 4 with 5 minutes left. So I wouldn't take the points here, but I do think the Browns get out of this one with a win.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm not high on the Tennessee Titans at all, and like Mac, you've been talking them up, and they've been playing solid football. Without Nick Chubb, it's such a scary game. I'm not going to touch this one, but I think the Titans can hold their own. I mean, they've been around in games, they hang around, so Browns team knows how to lose too. I'm not going to touch either side, but I think the Titans grab this one.
You like points in this one? Just low, 39.5.
No, I think the ball's going to be on the
Yeah,
ground a lot.
I was gonna say I don't love an over under in this one. I think they're gonna try to use Hunt a good bit and Jerome Ford, like Ace said. I think they're gonna use that 1-2 punch. I'd take Cleveland here. I'd maybe buy the points at 3. But I think Cleveland can bounce back and get a win here on their home field. Give me the Browns -3.
Do you think that Kareem Hunt's going to walk right into playing well? He might
I
walk into the reps, but he hasn't been playing football.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be mostly Ford, and you'll see Hunt like Mackie, like you said, on third down and in key moments. I think
They
he still
might get
comes
him,
in.
gift him a touchdown.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like he'll get it. I feel like he'll definitely get in the
If
end zone.
points are easy to find though, I don't know if they'll be easy to find.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the home field in this matchup. Tennessee's been good on their home field to start, and then we're going to see them on the road here. I'll take the Browns.
Mac, you remember last year we were talking about field goals, something like that? I'd take a Nick Folk field goal bet here for the Titans in this one.
You think their offense staggers in the red zone?
I just think he puts up at least 2. I think it's usually over 1.5, right?
Yeah, but some kickers it gets to like -160 for the over.
Got to see the weather in Cleveland too. We could have a rain
Yeah,
out.
that's a good point. That's a good point. I'll have to look into it, but I like that line. Just screams that to me.
Solid stuff there in Cleveland. The next matchup we have the Chargers out of LA, heading into Minnesota to visit the Vikings. Chargers are the favorite though, -1.5 points. Very close game here. Pick them. Money lines -108 on both sides, and the total at 53.5. Trends I got here. The total has gone over in 4 out of the Chargers' last 5 games, as well as the Chargers' last 4 out of the last Chargers' 6 games when playing on the road against Minnesota. But Minnesota's 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 against the Chargers. Trends are pointing to the over and to the Vikings. So let's shoot it over to Mackie again. What are you thinking here, buddy?
Yeah, I think I know what side some of you guys are going to be on here, but I don't know if I really like these Chargers in this game. Sketchy line. They started at -2.5. I think it's down to a pick 'em at this point. Both these teams desperate for a win. Chargers going on the road. It's going to be tough. You got to think of the coaches here too. Brandon Staley in one of these situations. Again, this goes by what I say. Justin Herbert cannot win an important game, and it's this game. down the stretch. It's probably going to be a shootout. I really like the over, but it's going to be close, back and forth. Both offenses getting a chance to take the lead, and you know how this usually goes with Justin Herbert in this offense. So they can never really get points when it actually matters. So I'm going to go with the Vikings here with the close win. I think it's going to be a shootout, kind of like that Dolphins Chargers game. But both these teams really need a win, and I'm going to go with the Vikings here.
I could have sworn that Mackey was going against the Chargers this week. He's been successful so far, but am I wrong to say that this could be one of the best games of the week?
Oh, 100%.
I think so too.
100%.
I think there's going to be. I think Justin Jefferson does it every week. I think he has a day, but I think he's yet to score a touchdown this year. He has over 300 receiving yards, I believe, but yet to get in the end zone. I think he gets there twice this week. I think that's a crazy bet. Look at Justin Jefferson for 2 touchdowns here. I like the over, like Mackie said. Keenan Allen was rolling last week with Herbie and whatnot. I know they can't close games, but they put up the numbers week in and week out. I do like the Chargers to get the job done here. I think they're too good of a team to go 0-3. But I also was high on the Vikings coming into this year, so this is a tough one for me. But yeah, give me this could be a prop game in the over here for me, but I'm gonna ride with the Chargers for argument's sake. Huff, what side are you on?
I like Minnesota to get things done at home. I think the Chargers are going to struggle here. I'm not saying Minnesota has a good defense. I was chirping their defense last week in the prime time in Philly. I just think Minnesota gets back to what we've expected them to do coming into this year. It's a good spot for them. Like we said, this is arguably the best game of the week. The lights are bright. This is 1 o'clock. Kirk Cousins, where not much is expected of him. I know we said this is a really good game. But I feel like there's good stats for Cousins coming off the mini bye off the Thursday into the Sunday afternoon slate where he's a lot better than in the prime time. Give me the Vikings. I like the money line at the -108 as well.
I think you guys said it. I think that's they said it might be the game of the week. I think overall it's just going to be a awesome matchup. Chargers and Vikings in Minnesota. But let's go to our next matchup here. Patriots and Jets in New York. Well, New Jersey. Patriots the favorite here, -2.5. Their money line -148. Jets money line at +126. Total and an even 37. Trends I got here: New England 5-0 straight up and against the spread in its last 5 games against the Jets. Jets without Aaron Rodgers this week again. Total has gone under in 6 out of the Jets' last 7 games. Ace, what are you thinking? New England Patriots. I think we might talk about this one on the live stream as well. But I'm curious to hear what you think now.
Yeah,
What do you
you,
got?
you know we'll be talking about the Patriots on the live stream. I feel like we've done it every week so far, and they're 0-2, which is great. But need them to turn it around here. This is a must-win game for both teams, in my opinion. I mean, the Patriots and Jets have shown great defenses, but they have not shown much on offense. Both have gone up against some tough opponents too, the Bills and the Dallas Cowboys. But in my opinion, I think the Patriots can get this one done, even up the records with the Jets and Patriots here this year. What'd you say the line was here?
2.5. Patriots money line -148.
Oof, yeah, that's a tough spread there. I'll probably go with the spread because I think they're gonna win. Might not be on my card because this is gonna be a hard fought game, low scoring. If you like the under or first half under half, I think this would be a good one. But I wouldn't say to expect too many fireworks here.
Yeah, I don't know which way I'm going to go on this game. This is going to be a big defensive game, like you said. Two good defenses coming into this, two kind of unproven offenses. Obviously, the Jets are unproven with Wilson, a quarterback last week, going up against a really good Dallas team that we're all really high on in that defense. But I don't know, a 2.5 point spread. The Jets are at home. I don't love it either way on the spread. Really, I definitely probably would lean the Patriots to get the job done, but I don't like it. So definitely could see myself switch on that. But that over under 37 is kind of sketchy. I kind of think it would go over, in my opinion. I think the offenses could get something going towards the end of the game at least. 37 is so low. 20 to 17, you push.
Huff, I was just Mac before you go real quick. The one thing that we do have to remember, you know how the Steelers didn't even play well? Their defense did, and they beat the Browns. Kind of the same situation. The Patriots always beat up on the New York Jets. I shouldn't overthink this one. I probably will take them even if it's a 3 point spread here. They always consistently get the job done. I'll knock on wood on it because I'm started. You got to believe in that stuff. But the Patriots, I think they can. Bill Belichick, Zach Wilson sees ghosts against New England, but I'm eager to hear what Max does here.
Yeah, I'm with Huff on this one. I think I'm gonna go back and forth on this one for a while. I'm probably not gonna have a play on it because it's just one of those games. But um, in my opinion, I think the Patriots need it more than the Jets. The Jets already have a win under their belt, and their whole entire season just got injured in week 1. So I mean, there's really not a lot of there's not a lot of high expectations for this Jets team anymore. Meanwhile, the Patriots are sitting 0-2. They go to Dallas next week. You start 0-4 and the season's basically caked at that point. So I think the Patriots have a lot riding on their shoulders. I think that they can definitely pull out a win here, but it's definitely going to be a really heavily defensive game. Mac Jones is going to put a few drives together and try to figure this one out, but I don't have a play on this one yet. I'm leaning Patriots, but I'm going back and forth.
Zach Wilson to throw a pick. If you can get a good line on that, I guarantee that's not a bad one.
I don't think you can get a good line on that.
No, definitely not. But real quick, over on the Patriots, I want to talk about Christian Gonzalez. That guy repping number 6 for the Patriots. I mean, he clamped up Tyreek Hill, got an interception against him. I know he got his with a touchdown, but he played the part, especially with no Jonathan Jones, no Jack Jones, no Marcus Jones last week. So Miles Bryant got picked on. Need some of those guys to get healthy if we want to stay in the win column. But I'm excited to watch him versus Garrett Wilson this week.
Mackie, did either of you guys see that there's the spreads out for that game next week, the Patriots and Cowboys?
Is it?
What's it
Yeah,
at?
what, don't look.
Wait, no,
What
no,
would
don't
you-
say it yet. Don't say
Take
it
a
yet.
guess. I know the spread. Both of you take a
Okay.
guess.
It's in Dallas, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
that's
say
where we're going.
I'm gonna say
Yeah, we're
6
going
and a
to it,
half.
Ace.
No, I know. I'm just saying that as the point.
You said it's in Dallas.
No, I'm saying that's why I'm saying for the spread.
8,
Oh,
I'm saying six
Go
and a
ahead,
half for
buddy.
the Cowboys.
8.
7.5.
I'd take that. I'll definitely take plus 7.5. Are you kidding me? I'm throwing on the money
Can't
line
wait.
too.
I'm gonna take alternate minus 14.
Ezekiel Elliott anytime.
Patriots team total under Zeke. What's his line on a torn ACL?
Oh my
I'm ta-
god.
I'll take Ferguson.
What's the
first
line on
touchdown
Dak
every single
Prescott torn
Cowboys game
ACL?
the rest of the year.
Probably pretty similar.
Yeah. What's more important?
I don't know. Hopefully neither happens.
Yeah, right.
All
Dak
all
Prescott
matters is
interception though. I'll tell you that.
Dak
com-
is clean
Get a
this year.
combo line. Get a
He's
combo
clean to
sack
date.
line.
You know
Sack
who's not
parlay
clean to
with
date? Mac
Judon and Parsons.
Jones. Mac Jones
Jones though.
Mac Jones likes to throw those interceptions.
Hey, Mac Jones, not bad.
all right. We'll talk that game next week. I just wanted to tell you the line was out.
Stuff is already we're already getting pumped up for that one. So let's keep going here. The next game up, Buffalo Bills at the Washington Commanders. Bills are the favorite here at 6.5 points. Their money line minus 270. Commanders money line at plus 220. And the total sitting at 43.5. The trends I got here. Total's gone under in 8 of Buffalo's last 9 games on the road. Buffalo 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 against Washington. The total has gone under in all 5 of Washington's last 5 games at home. Who wants to get us rolling on this one?
Yeah, I can get us started here. This is a low total for a game with Josh Allen in it and a team that just put up 35 points last week. Kind of screams that a lot of money is going to be on the over, so probably not going to touch it, but that over does look good. But in this game, I mean, the Buffalo Bills are definitely a different team on the road than they are at home. We saw them lose to Zach Wilson Monday night, week 1, and then last week he was home and he just absolutely slaughtered that Raiders team 38-10, I think it was, something like that. But like I said, like they're on the road, so minus 6.5. I'm not really sure if I can lean that, but I mean, these Commanders, I think they're frauds. They're a 2-0 team, but they played Russell Wilson, and we know how he goes this year. And I forget who they played week 1. Might have been Arizona, but another week win. So it's 2-0 team, probably the weakest of them all. I think the Bills get the job done, but it's a bit too much of a spread for me.
This Commanders team is such a weird team to me. You're right. They're probably the worst 2-0 team out there, but they've been playing solid football. I mean, beating bad teams just barely, but they're getting the job done. And like Huff said, that defense is supposed to be pretty good. So I think this game could be a little bit better than we expect. But I love the Bills money line here. Talk about some survivor picks here and there. I think the Bills wouldn't be a bad one, even though it's a 2-0 team against a 1-1 team. I think that's not a bad pick this week. I think they get the job done. Josh Allen continues to roll. Had a successful week last week. I bet you he finds the end zone too because he hasn't yet. But I don't know. I could see them even covering the 6.5. But I'll probably take that 270 and throw it in a money line parlay, and that'll be a good leg this Sunday.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the Commanders' defense to maybe bounce back here after giving up a lot of points in Denver. I know that was a very high scoring game both ways. I think the final score both teams were in the 30s. They hold them on a 2-point conversion. I think the Commanders could maybe on their home field contain Josh Allen, get a couple of turnovers. That's not the craziest assumption to say. Obviously, he's very prone to throwing interceptions, but um, I don't like 6.5, maybe a 7.5, or maybe a 9.5 in a teaser. This could be a very good opportunity to tease the Commanders. I love 10 points on my home turf. I'm not saying I love this Commanders team, but I just there's going to be the Bills are they've been sketchy with Josh Allen on the road, and I'm not big on them coming into this year. But I know I still picked that we picked the Dolphins to win this division, but I was right there on picking the Bills, and I don't know. This is a weird spot for them. The Commanders are 2-0. I think this Commanders team. I know you just said they played the Broncos and the fucking Cardinals, but I don't know. This is a test for them. I'm not saying it's a huge test because they definitely. I think they'll lose the game, but I think they could keep it within 10 points if you put them in a teaser.
Yeah, that's not a bad play there, Huff. That's why I'm high on that money line though. I think the Bills really roll. I'm not surprised if he throws an interception, maybe even two fumbles here or there, but I think they get this one done. I think he's gonna put up over 300 against this defense.
Yeah, I'm excited. Is this no? This isn't the Commanders' home opener. They played at Arizona at home.
Yeah, but this will be a fun one to watch. I expect Josh Allen to have big numbers. I think the Bills team is gonna quietly make some noise behind the Dolphins.
Alrighty, boys. Good stuff there. Let's keep it on the 1 o'clock slate. Texans and the Jaguars down in Jacksonville, beautiful Florida. The Jags are the favorite here, 8.5 points. Their money line -420. Texans money line at +330. Total sitting at 44.5. Trends I got here: Houston 5-0 straight up in its last 5 when playing on the road against Jacksonville. Houston 9-1 straight up in its last 10 games when playing Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's 5-1 straight up in its last 6 games at home. Question is, do you like Jags by the points, or what are you be thinking? Ace, start us off. What do you think?
I'm just saying right now, bounce back game. I think that they have a big week this week. Trevor Lawrence and co. I mean, they were stymied heavily by the Chiefs defense with Chris Jones back. I think Trevor Lawrence and they put up 9 points. I don't know if he threw a touchdown last week. They were very close if they weren't. Calvin Ridley had so many chances. I think he finds Pater. That guy's a legitimate wide receiver one. And this Jaguars team that's gonna win the division is gonna feast in the AFC South and divisional opponent in the Texans. They've looked terrible. That might be the worst team in football, them and the Panthers. But I don't know about you guys. I think they cover the points here, and I think Trevor Lawrence has a bounce back day.
Yeah, I definitely kind of lean on the Jags here. I don't love giving nine or taking 9.5 point spread in a divisional matchup, especially, but I like that it's on their home turf. Texans haven't really given me much to root for. I took the Colts last week against them. I'm big on Anthony Richardson and the divisional matchup in Houston. I was not scared of that at all. I got the Colts at +100. The whole thing in Houston right now is I'm not big on CJ Stroud, and I can't bet on that team until I kind of see some positives coming from them. I mean, there's not much around him, so not much on him, I guess you'd say. But I guess that's a good point, Ace. This is a great bounce back spot for the Jags. 9.5 is a little tough, but if you need a pick, I'd take the Jags -9.5.
Yeah, great bounce back spot, and that Jags defense just held the Chiefs offense to 17 points in a 60-minute game. You know, they get to go play the Texans, who have a pretty weak offensive line and no weapons, with a young rookie quarterback in his third NFL game. So, I think the Jags definitely cover 9 points here. I think they're not even gonna have to do that much. I think Texans offense gets really shut down this game, maxing out maybe 10 points. I could see a 24-10 final, 27-10. But I like the under as well in this divisional game. But Jags definitely bounce back game for them, I think.
I don't think there's anybody that can cover Calvin Ridley, and let alone the rest of the guys they have. I was talking survival picks a bit earlier. I think this could be a great one, actually. I think Trevor Lawrence is really good, and he's going to win this division. He's going to go off in these divisional games here. I think that defense is actually really strong. A lot of big names on the Jaguars' defensive side of the ball. They've been playing great lately. They actually shut down Patrick Mahomes. Barely walked out of there with a win. Kansas City did. So I think Stroud's going to struggle.
They had Pat Mahomes to 0 points with 4 minutes left or 3 minutes left in the second half. So or first half.
Yeah,
So
what was it? 3-0. It was fucking.
it was 3-0, and then Mahomes scored a touchdown, made it 7-3. They were covering 2.5 at the first half, and then
I saw that. I did see that.
yeah, you saw Uncle Phil. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Trevor Lawrence went down and fucking kicked a field goal as time expired.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't bet anything on that game. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, no, I watched that one. I had the Kelsey TD. That was massive cashing that. But Yeah, that Jaguars defense, if you're going to attack them one way, CJ Stroud should take notes from Anthony Richardson. He was running the ball pretty successfully in that week one matchup, but that Jaguars defense has been solid, getting to the quarterback, creating turnovers, and keeping Trevor Lawrence on the field.
CJ Stroud just doesn't have the athletic ability that Anthony Richardson does. So
No, I agree. I
smaller
agree.
body, less athletic. It's tough for him to do what Anthony Richardson does.
No, but maybe expose that a little bit. He can still get his feet moving.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty, another 1 o'clock game to focus on here. The Indianapolis Colts at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens, the favorite here, 7.5 points in their favor here, minus 400 on the money line. Colts money line plus 315. The total at 45.5. The trends I got here, the total has gone over in 5 out of Indianapolis's last 5 games on the road. But on the opposite side, the total's gone under in 8 of Indianapolis' last 9 games on the road Indianapolis's last 9 games against Baltimore, as well as it's gone under in 5 out of Baltimore's last 5 games at home. A couple of those trends point towards the under, one towards the over. What are you guys thinking about the spread? Let's get us rolling.
Yeah, not one of my favorite games of the week. I don't really love the Ravens spread here. I kind of lean Colts if anything. You got to remember it is Gardner Minshew, not Anthony Richardson. So, well, Richardson didn't practice today. Minshew's expected to start this game, but yeah, Minshew had a good game last week. I think he was 19 for 23 for threw a touchdown and just got the job done against that Texans team. But this defense is good, and I could see Lamar Jackson having a pretty frustrating day. Not putting up a lot of points. I do like the under on this game. I'm probably going to lean Colts +8, but I don't think I'm going to have a play on this one.
Mackie, I honestly think that. Sorry to cut you off. I honestly think that +8 is a good play. I honestly think that the Ravens definitely win this game. I think they're almost a lock to win this game. But by how many points and how good they look doing it is the question that is unbeknown. Anthony Richardson, like you said, I think he ultimately ends up sitting out because you invest that much stock into a guy, you don't want him playing this week. And they got to work on the injuries with him. Trevor Lawrence said to him after their week one matchup, you got to protect yourself, buddy. And he's playing great football, gets in the end zone, already has a bunch of rushing touchdowns, but he's got to protect himself if he wants to be a long star in this league. He plays well, need him on the field, not on the sidelines. But I like the Ravens to win this week. Mark Andrews, big ad back last week, and I think Zay Flowers finds the end zone. He's been electric so far. That defense on the other side of the ball, I think they'll handle whatever the Colts throw at them.
Yeah. And Anthony Richardson, I mean, he's literally the only reason I was on the Colts last week in that divisional matchup in Houston. In this spot, I'd probably be I'm still leaning on the Colts to cover this game. I like the 8 points. I probably won't take it, but just because I want to watch him and have the Anthony Richardson versus Lamar Jackson matchup. But I don't know. With Minshew, like Mackie said, he didn't play bad last week. He came in, he got the job done. That was the game I was watching. I kind of thought I was a little bit cooked when Minshew came in. I didn't really know what to expect, but that Texans team is brutal. So give me the Colts here with the points. I'll take Minshew to just sneak one out here and cover it, but I think, like Ace said, I think the Ravens start the season 3-0.
Yeah, I think Minshew is going to have a solid game when he plays too, but I'd much rather see Anthony Richardson. I was on the Colts last week, just like you, for the same exact reasons, and he didn't let us down for as much as he could.
Dude, he's so fun to watch.
Yeah, he runs the ball so well, but the thing is, he takes too big of hits for a quarterback, way too big of hits.
He reminds me of Cam Newton when Cam Newton was younger.
But Zach Moss coming back to the Indianapolis Colts, he looked great behind that O-line. Pretty solid running back. Spent most of his career in Buffalo, but he's taken over that number one role without Jonathan Taylor. He's looked good doing it. He's a bruising running back, can run through the tackles, and that works in today's NFL. But Roquan Smith will have the answer for that this week, I think. It's crazy how the Ravens can have success when they have so many injuries on the offensive side of the ball. A lot of moving pieces. No more Dobbins and Beckham out now, but Andrews, Flowers, Aguilar, Bateman, Hill, and Edwards in the mix. I'm surprised they didn't get another running back in Baltimore, but they trust what they've got.
Solid stuff, boys. The next matchup here, I want to talk about Falcons and Lions. I'm particularly excited about. I think it's going to be a great matchup, tight matchup. Lions are the favorite here, 3.5 points. Their money line -164. Falcons money line +138. Total sitting at 46.5. Trends I got here are.
Ooh, bless you.
Bless you. What a
trend.
trend, yeah.
Yeah, trends, yeah. Lions 10-2 against the spread in their last 12. Lions 11-3 against the spread in their last 14 games at home. The over is 9-2 in Atlanta's last 11 games played in week 3. And the Falcons 12-5 against the spread in their last 17 games against Detroit, including 6-1 against the spread at Detroit. So some interesting things to think about there. Personally, I love the over in this game. I think this is going to be a shootout, but curious to hear what you guys think. You guys got.
Yeah, I'll start us out here. You read my mind. I had the over here. I got like this for over 46. I see right here -110. I'll definitely be taking that. I'm hoping I can get it before it moves. I might have to take that now rather than later, but
It did go up and come back down, Huff, I believe.
okay. Yeah, I like the over here. I think it's like you said. I think it's a high scoring game. I think the Falcons are able to get theirs, and we all know the Lions' offense has been successful throughout the start of the year. So, I like the over in this game.
This is such a tough game for me to decide because I've liked these Falcons. Mackey's been a little bit higher than I have, but I like this team on both sides of the ball. They're pretty exciting. Unknown offense, unknown defense. Jesse Bates really stepping up. But the other side, the Lions, like I've been low on them, but I think they should be able to get the win this week. I really do. I know Demont's out, but Amon-Ra is going to have a big game again. I know Terrell, it's a tough matchup, but I think he's good enough where he's going to eat every game. I like the Lions to get the win here and knock those Falcons back down to 2-1. They're riding a little too high, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah, I'm not too high on the Falcons. I liked them last week. They got the job done, but he couldn't cover a spread for me. But I like the Lions here. I like the -3. I think they get the job done at home. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be more of a shootout, like Jesse said. I like the over in this game. That Lions defense isn't very special at all, and that Lions offense can obviously put up points. And with Bijan in that Falcons offense, I mean, they can really put up points as well. But
Not through
Falcons,
the air, though.
yeah, I don't mind Desmond Ritter, dude. I mean, he has good moments. He has pretty bad moments as well, but he shows signs of being a pretty good consistent quarterback in the NFL. He's just a little young, makes some bad decisions. He can definitely get the job done though. Get the ball in the end zone.
I like how we got London involved last week. Pitts need to see a bit more from him still. Bijan stepping up to the plate though.
Yeah, I mean the hype that came into him, he better step up to the plate. But he is playing very good football. He's one of the better running backs in the league already.
Is this a team that's in contention as one of the worst 2-0 teams though?
Yeah, definitely. I think the
Commanders.
Commanders definitely take that one, but they're
Yeah, but
they're down there.
I, this is a cool matchup. The two first round running backs, Bijan versus Jameer Gibbs in this one. Obviously, Jameer Gibbs getting the start for the Lions in this one, but
Take
yeah,
them,
I like the over
Value
46
parlay.
and a half, and I
take
think you could take both to score as well. Yeah.
take
Yeah,
them both
that's
to
probably some
score in a
good odds.
parlay. Oh, I
I'm gonna
might
say
actually do that. That's a fun
Bijan.
parlay
Oh
too.
no, Gibbs's odds are gonna be smoked this week though.
Nah, not gonna be that crazy. Probably like -120.
No, I bet you it's like +110.
Oh, then
Yeah, but he's been like plus 240 the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah, David Montgomery in there too.
I bet you Bijan's probably like -120.
Way deeper, I bet.
It's
Didn't he
minus
score last week again?
165.
-160.
Yeah. It's going to be -165.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but still, it's gonna be a plus money parlay for the two running backs taken
Oh
in this
yeah.
year's draft. That might be a fun one, and don't be surprised to see that on our social media. We'll tweet that one out if we rock with it.
That could definitely be a interesting play. Very interesting play. Let's keep it going here. Another 1 o'clock game. The New Orleans Saints going into Green Bay to see the Packers. Packers are the favorite here, -2. The money line, -126. Saints money line, +108. Total 42.5. No trends from me here. Ace, why don't you get us started? What do you think?
This New Orleans Saints team, I've had them at -3 on my card back-to-back weeks. Have yet to hit it, but we're trending in the right direction. So maybe I ride the wave and get to the green this time instead of the push. But yeah, they just keep winning games, and we pegged them to win the division. Huff on our partner podcast over there, saying that they could go on to win the Super Bowl as a dark horse, win the NFC. But they're really gonna win games, and I think they can do it against the Green Bay Packers team that's playing a bit out of their shoes, but it's not gonna be easy. Love the under in this one. I think these two defenses eat. I don't know who's gonna be running the ball for the Saints, but I'm eager to hear you guys like in this one. I've kind of liked these Packers as well, so it's gonna be tough for me to pick a side.
Yeah, this is a really good game. My cousin's actually going to this one. He's going to be in Green Bay for work this weekend, so he's going with a couple of his work buddies. So he's a big Saints guy, so he's excited to see the Saints. But he said he's going to be rooting for the Packers in this one. I actually like the Packers in this spot. I'm going to take the -2. I think Jordan Love has a bounce back game at home here. That was a tough matchup in Atlanta last week. Atlanta obviously came back in that one. It looked like the Packers were going to pull away with that, and they just kind of forgot that you play 60 minutes for a reason. Um, yeah, I'm going to go with the Packers here, get things right on their home field. The Saints, I'm big on this Saints team. They've been playing 2 close games. I think they slip one up here on the road.
Yeah, this is Jordan Love in his home debut, if I'm not mistaken. I
No, they were home week. Were they home week 1?
no, they played in Chicago. That's
Oh,
why I took
yeah. I
Chicago.
love the Packers here.
But, yeah, I like Jordan Love this week. I don't think it would be a bounce back game. I think he had a good week last week. I think he threw for 3 touchdowns too. But,
Yeah, no, he's been
yeah,
good. I'm just saying I
he's
think the
just
Packers get a win. That was a tough loss for them in Atlanta. I think this is a good spot for them to come home and get a win.
yeah, he's just a little he's a little inexperienced. It showed late in the game. He couldn't really get anything going with that offense after they were pretty much driving down the field throughout the game.
That was a
But,
tough beat on that 4th down, though.
which I don't know. I'm not really sure
The
which one.
drop on when the Packers were
I didn't
driving to
watch
take that game back.
I didn't watch that game, yeah.
Oh, he
I don't
had
think I
3
saw that
chances.
play.
The Falcons won by 1 point, right? And the Packers had a drive to win the game. And I think he got 1 first down on the drive. And the second one, I hate when teams just take 10-yard shots when you're trying to drive. Like, move the ball consistently down the field. He had enough time. He had over a minute and a half. And 4th down, it looked like there was a great grab. It might have been by Reed or Dobbs or Dubes, whatever you say. And they catch the ball. They get to the line. They didn't go quick and snap it. Booth overturns it, and game ends right there. So it's like
Is there
tough beat.
is there
What's
any
that?
chance Aaron Jones plays this week? I'm seeing here he's still
Yeah,
not practicing yet.
there's a chance he plays, but I wouldn't be surprised if he missed it. But Dylan didn't produce
Dude,
last week at
Dylan did
all,
not look good for them, yeah.
Yeah,
which
no,
is
he's just
surprising. I think they'll
minimal
go right
impact.
back to him. I would. No reason not to. Just a tough game.
Not against the Saints defense. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's just very hard to go into Lambeau with the way Derek Carr's been playing. He hasn't been playing very well. He had a very bad week game on Monday night. He still came in with a W because you're playing Bryce Young and the Panthers. But this is a pretty weak 2-0 team so far too. I know we had a lot of expectations coming into the season, but they're not playing how any of us really expected them to, especially not Huff with Huff
I ca
had
I
what
kind of expected growing pains with them. I mean, it's
you
obviously
ex-
this isn't Tom Brady stepping into a new team. I mean, this is Derek Carr. I mean, I'm not
but he
saying
They're
like
looks
2-0
bad,
though. You
dude.
gotta love
He
that.
looks
yeah,
bad.
exactly. I'll take the wins how you can get them.
Yeah.
Right, but he has 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions on the season, and he has 2
Yeah.
wins against 2 pretty I wouldn't say the Titans are bad, but that was a pretty shitty game by both sides. Defense won that one, but,
Kamara
there
is going to be massive to get back on that team.
Exactly. I think Kamara next week helps
do
them
you
a
really
lot.
think he's gonna take this team to be NFC champions?
With the amount of injuries around the league right now, it wouldn't be crazy to think he jumps back into the top 5, top 7 realm.
I just don't think that I don't think Derek Carr can really get the job done. I don't think that offense can really get the job done. Michael Thomas has turned into a bottom or not a top end receiver anymore.
I like
You know, you know
Shaheed
who's
and
looked great? Rashid
Olave.
Shaheed. Oh,
Rashid
Olave. I
Shaheed
was gonna say Rashid
Olave's
Shaheed's got a
yeah.
lot of speed. Olave is one of the most slept on receivers in the league. He's actually right up there with names like CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jalen Waddle, in my opinion.
Oh, I wouldn't get there yet. I think he's got the potential to be there in the next year or 2, but he's definitely a step down from them.
I think he's in that group.
I don't know. This Saints team sets up to
He
be a
doesn't
lot
have the
more.
quarterback to show it yet.
No, but the other thing is, you know who actually looks great? Because I've taken these Saints -3 2 weeks in a row. Is Taysom Hill. Every time he gets the ball, he's making things happen every single time. They get
Ridiculous,
7
dude.
and 9 yards. They've
And
got to use him a bit more.
it's always like a designed run that like starts as like a passing play, and they just never pick up on it. It's like the biggest cheat code in the game, but
Because he
it
can
works
actually
every
toss
time.
the rock.
Yeah, but he never does.
You know what's nice though? I think they might start using more with Jamal Williams, projected to be out. They just have that guy Tony Jones Jr. stepped into a big role, and Kendre Miller, exciting rookie to jump onto the scene. Go ahead, that guy in your fantasy leagues. But I think Taysom Hill and the goal line might be helping some of their woes right now because they can't punch the ball in. You know how many times I've seen them inside the 5 this year? And how many touchdowns they have on the season total? I mean, break out number 7 a bit more. Get the dirty work going. You might see it this week, especially against that great Green Bay defense. He's due for one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. I think probably more defensive, but I'm gonna lean Green Bay as well.
A grind for points this week in that one.
Solid 1 o'clock matchup there. Let's jump into our final 1 o'clock matchup here. Denver Broncos at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins the favorite here, 6.5 points. Their money line -300. Broncos money line at +245, and the total at 48.5. The trends I got here are the total has gone over in 6 out of Denver's last 7 games. The total has gone under in 13 of Denver's last 18 games on the road. And Miami 5-0 against the spread in their last 5. What do we think is going to come out of this 1 o'clock matchup here in Miami? Huff, why don't you just go in here? Russ, is he going to cook?
I'd like to think so. I don't love a 6.5 point spread here, but there's a lot of money on these Dolphins, so I definitely can't get behind 80% of America on a Dolphins minus 6.5. So maybe you see me tease up this Dolphin spread. I don't really love this game. I'm big on this Dolphins team as well, so I don't really love going against them in this position here. I'm not too big on these Broncos. They're obviously 0-2, and against two teams that are not very good. So I'm not going to take them going across the country to Miami. Only plus 6.5, but I just don't like this game. I'll wait for another one. I'll probably tune in just because I'm a Russ guy, and I like this Dolphins team, but I'm seeing Tyreek Hill questionable. A lot of question marks on the defensive side for the Miami Dolphins, so I wouldn't be surprised if Denver sneak covers this 6.5.
Yeah, I'm definitely staying away from this game. If I had an upset of the week, I think this could be one of them. I'm really high on this Dolphins team too. I think they're a dark horse Super Bowl team too, a dark horse MVP. Definitely could win that AFC East, the tough AFC East. But the thing is, this Broncos defense, I know they played terrible last week, but they're pretty stingy normally, especially against the pass. And I think they could steal this one. I'm not going to card it, not going to take this anywhere, but I really think the Broncos could undermine this Dolphins team and bring them back to earth a little bit.
I could definitely see myself take them, but right now I just don't like 6.5. I feel like it might go to 7 or 7.5, so I might wait on this.
Especially if those speedy receivers that take up all the game plan, if one or both misses it. I mean, they have the names and the bodies on the defensive side of the ball to match up with them. I know they played awful last week against Washington, but I'm not high on the Denver Broncos at all. But I just think this is a tougher spot than people think. Trap game, trap game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't. It's definitely a bit of a trap game. I don't think it's one of the craziest ones I've ever seen. Huff, you said 80% of the money's on it. If it stays like that, you're definitely gonna have to stay away from this. But there's a lot of time before Sunday, and that's when most of the bets come in. So we'll have to see how that line moves and how the money splits change and everything. But I do like Miami in this situation. I think the offense rolls. Denver gave up 35 points to Washington last week. I don't think that Broncos team can really do what they did last week, involving putting up 33 points. Miami at home, I have them losing 4 games this year. I don't think one of them are going to be to the Denver Broncos. 6.5 might be a little too much though. I might have to tease it down, maybe get it to like -1.5, minus a half a point. I don't see a situation where they lose this game.
Alrighty, boys, that's going to wrap up everything we have in the 1 o'clock slate. Time to jump into these 4 o'clock games, some higher spreads across the board. But first one here, Carolina Panthers at the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks, the favorite here, -6. Their money line, -255. Panthers money line at +210 in the total at 42. The trends I got here, the total has gone over in 5 out of Carolina's last 5 games when playing on the road against Seattle, as well as over in 5 out of their last 5 games against Seattle. So no matter where they are, they're in Seattle and against Seattle. So no matter where they are, the over is hitting. Curious to hear what you guys think here in this first 4 o'clock matchup. Mackie, why don't you start us off? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning the -5.5 here. I think the Seahawks at home can really get rolling. That team can put up points, and that's scary because the Carolina Panthers definitely cannot. Bryce Young's team looked like the worst quarterback in the league so far. Hasn't lived up to anything. I didn't think he would get anything going to start the season anyway, but it's working out basically exactly how I expected to, and I think Seahawks get off to an early lead, and it's going to be really hard for the Panthers to come back. Their defense is really going to have to keep them in this one to even have a chance, but I definitely lean Seahawks -5.5. To have a good day.
Why is this game scaring me so much? Because I'm not high on
Ace,
the
I'm sitting
Seahawks.
there the same way. I don't like this spread at all.
Oh, I do the pick 'em too, and one of my buddies sends it to me every week because he doesn't know too much about it. He's like, You got some good picks, give them to me." And so I just pick the games for him, and I'm like, "Oh, I took Seattle just because I think they should win, but I don't think they're very good. I'm not high on them this year, especially after last year. And this Panthers team sucks, but they scare me in this spot. It's going to be a grimy game, and I don't know why. I feel like the Seahawks can't win a low-scoring, grimy game.
They
What
just
side are you
did.
leaning? No, I don't think this is a trap game for them. I don't even think they're very
I
good.
I was gonna say the only thing that would make me take the Seahawks here is because they're home. It's a tough. I
That is
mean,
true.
that's a tough place to go in and play Seattle, especially if you're a rookie quarterback and Bryce Young. But I feel like this is a 8.5 point spread, but I also don't think the Seahawks are that good. So I'm like,
Yeah, you can't
I,
give the Seahawks an 8.5. I think the number's right. I think any higher it looks a little weird. What would you even 6.5 maybe max? Like
I'd
you
like,
can't
yeah,
give the
Panthers are
Seahawks
so
too much.
bad, but they did look better than week 1 in my
I
opinion.
was gonna say they kind of had some flashes where they contained
Adam
that same
Thielen was
thing that happened
involved.
Oh, I
in the Saints game.
disagree.
Yeah,
I think Adam Thielen made a few nice plays, but I don't think that offense did absolutely anything. Bryce Young looked like absolutely like Nathan Peterman. It was
Yeah,
close.
he's bad.
Ace, you said it. I literally was sitting here. I was like, Seahawks have to cover this. I'm like,
Uh,
I don't think they do.
but when you say they're playing in Seattle, it makes me feel a lot more comfortable with taking that side of the ball. But
Yeah,
this is such a tough game. Like if the Seahawks win this game by a fair margin and cover the spread, do people overreact and think they're going back to the playoffs? Do you think the
probably.
Seahawks are going back to the playoffs?
No, because the Rams are pretty good.
Do you think they're
Dude,
better? Yeah, I don't know.
I
Those
think
week one though.
it's gonna come down to one of those teams, and I think the Rams edge them out.
and they still got to play the 49ers again. There's another loss.
They'll grab a couple against the Cards.
I know they haven't played the 49ers yet. There's 2 losses probably.
Grab a couple against the Cards. It's the NFC, so it's pretty weak. This is a game you circle as a win in your calendar. Maybe they're ready
I
for
don't
it.
know. I don't know. I'm big on this. I'm big on that Packers team, Detroit. So I think 2 teams come out of the
Atlanta.
NFC North.
I think
I was
Atlanta
gonna
could
say
be better than
Atlanta. I
Seattle.
think Atlanta could sneak in as that last team this year.
Are the Giants better than the Seahawks? I don't know. Without Barkley,
Mm,
no.
no, not without Saquon.
I would say they're probably below them with Saquon.
I think that the Vikings could catch the Seahawks by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to over exaggerate. It's only 2 weeks into the season. I mean, these teams can go on 6 game winning streaks, looking at six and
Yeah,
two.
I just wanted to say it's just weird, Hoff, that you have the same thought. Like, it scares me this game. I don't know why. Like, I think the
One of
Seahawks
those
win, but
lines.
yeah, scary game.
Alrighty, keeping it rolling in these 4 o'clock matchups. The Bears and the Chiefs next in Kansas City. Kansas City Chiefs, the favorite, 12.5 points there. Their money line minus 770. The Bears money line plus 540. The total at 47.5. Trends I got here. The total has gone over in 6 out of Chicago's last 7 games on the road, but the total has gone under in 5 out of Kansas City's last 5 games against Chicago. Kansas City 9-1 straight up in its last 10, but 12.5 points is a lot. What are you guys thinking here in this 4 o'clock matchup? 4:26 p.m.
Under 47.
Chiefs
think?
minus 12.5.
I'm just going under.
I'm not
I don't like
overthinking this game.
I don't like
Chiefs are home.
Chiefs
The-
team total over.
I truly might just take the Chiefs minus 12.5 here. I don't want to overthink this. I think this Bears team is really bad. I think Justin Fields struggles against. I think Chris Jones is going to be up his ass all game. I really think this Chiefs defense is gonna force the Bears to get a couple turnovers. Give me the Chiefs minus the 12.5.
Is it bounce back Mahomes game this week? Is he going to have a big
Yeah,
game here?
this is where he lets all. He's going to let out all that stress from the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, Mahomes should be a full go. I know he was limited last game, still got in the end zone, but Kelsey, will be a full go. So I do agree with you, Huff. I'm not going to card it. I don't think it's a lot of points for me. I think 10. I think 10 for Thursday night football is a better take than the 12 here. But
See, I'd almost rather just buried in the rest of the slate where no one's watching. I think the big slate, the big primetime slates, or the big primetime spreads scare me a little more.
no, I like 10 a lot more than 12 though.
Oh yeah,
Like a
man.
lot more.
But you're getting who's a worse team, the Bears or the Giants?
Without Saquon Barkley, the Giants probably, right? And
I don't
without
know.
the left tackle, we saw
This
what the
Bears team
Cowboys
is
did to
so
him. I mean,
bad.
Jesus Christ, they murdered Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
and the
I see what you mean. I just think the Chiefs are you get Mahomes instead of Purdy, so he gets the extra 2.5 points.
Yeah, and Justin Fields is playing for the other team this year, so I mean, it's a tough one. I think
Yeah,
Mahomes rolls.
exactly.
I think he really does.
I could see Kelsey. I could see
Matt, did you say the
another
under?
week with Kelsey.
Yeah, I love the under in this one.
Why? Because you don't think the Bears do anything?
Yeah, I don't think the Bears do anything, and that Chiefs offense still just hasn't really done much to start the season. I think they could be a slow first half again, but they're obviously going to get their points later in the game. They're going to win this football game. I definitely do lean 12.5 too, but that Bears offense has just been absolutely terrible.
What do you think it needs to get a little bit?
47.5 ain't
In
low.
games like this,
No, it's
like
not. It's not.
games over 10 point spreads, majority of them go under. So I'm going to ride that trend as well. This is definitely a game where two staggered offenses can just go at it.
Yeah, I'm eager to see Patrick Mahomes start clicking. So what do you think? It needs to get a little bit colder up there in the kingdom before that Chiefs offense starts rolling, like maybe week 6, week 7?
Oh, they'll hit that spurt. Last year I think they started 2-2 or something like that, and then they went on like an 8-9 game winning streak, and they're like 11-2. So they do it every year. They'll figure it out, but I don't know. Maybe not yet. Maybe it might take them a half in this game. So
Interesting. I'll probably be on Kelsey to score again if we can get a nice odds.
Bears and Chiefs, 4 o'clock. Big spread there. One the biggest of the week, tied with this next matchup here. The Dallas Cowboys heading to Arizona to visit the Arizona Cardinals. Cowboys are the favorite here, 12.5 points. Their money line minus 820. Cardinals money line at plus 570. And the total sitting at 43 even. Trends I got here. Total has gone under in 5 out of Dallas's last 5 on the road. And Arizona 6-1 straight up in its last 7 games against Dallas. Curious what you guys think here. Last 4 o'clock matchup for this week, for week 3. Personally, I love the over. I think this is just going to be a Dallas all over the place game, similar to like week 1. But Mackie, why don't you start us off? Your Dallas Cowboys. What are you thinking?
yeah, I think the Cowboys roll again this week. They haven't really been testy yet this season. They won 40-0, 30-10. And then you're running into the worst team in the league in the Arizona Cardinals. Um, I'm really gonna look at a Arizona Cardinals team total under in this one. I think they're gonna have a really tough time scoring points. Probably the worst offense we've seen out of the three. Nobody's. I'm assuming it's gonna be around 16.5, 16, maybe 15.5. But Cowboys haven't given that up yet, and I don't think they're gonna give it up to Josh Dobbs and that Arizona Cardinals offense. I like the 11.5. Probably not going to take it. It's a little high going on the road. Another play where the sharps will tell you to take the under on it. It's that heavy spread and the favorited teams on the road. So I could see a slower game and under 43.5. Cowboys offense really hasn't been anything crazy yet. Their defense is get putting them in really good situations. So this could be an under game, but I like the Arizona Cardinals team total under.
Yeah, I don't know, Mackie. This is your Cowboys. This is the other 12.5 point spread this week. I definitely I like that play. What's the number you got the Cardinals at?
I didn't look at it, but I did the math, and it's going to be right around 15, 16.
14 and
Assuming
a half.
what is it?
14 and a half.
Yeah, but realistically, if you're taking 14, like it's the same thing as taking 15.5. Who's going to score 15 points? Not kicking 5 field goals.
I took 14 and a half in the
That's
backyard
college
brawl,
football.
and
College
West Virginia
football.
went for 2
Don't
for no
compare.
reason.
No, I think the Cowboys have their way yet again. I mean, they're like one of the best teams in the league right now, and they're absolutely rocking. So they're going to be 3-0 heading into the matchup against the Patriots and get shell shocked in their own dome. But I think that they have a good game this week. The Arizona Cardinals, worst team in the league, outperformed themselves. Heartbreaking loss to the Giants. I feel like if they had any momentum this season, it's all gone. The air in the balloon is popped. I mean, maybe they'll get a second win when Kyler comes off the IR, but for right now, I think they're going to get manhandled. Josh Dobbs isn't running against this defense. He's going to be running for his life against Micah Parsons. And I think that Cowboys offense will continue to roll because of the great field position and whatnot they get from the defense. CeeDee Lamb looked great last week. Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm calling it. You want to hear something funny? In my fantasy league, Michael Parsons outscored Trevor Lawrence for me. Every Cardinals game is going to be like that all season long. Oh, good team, murder. Okay, I don't know what else to say next.
And they're not good enough for me to like sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna fade America. I'm taking the Cardinals plus 12." It's like they might cover, but I'm probably also not gonna take the Cowboys minus the 12. I
They'll
don't know.
probably cover. Let's be honest. They might win by three or more touchdowns again.
88% on the Cowboys minus 12 right now. That's fucking crazy.
Mackey's one of those 88%.
Cardinals are home. No, I'm kidding.
Literally nothing. There's no scenario where they cover this, I don't think.
I was gonna say the Cowboys defense is too good for me to fade.
Imagine you do a teaser.
against
You do a
this team.
teaser with like the Chiefs and the Cowboys. It's not a bad teaser in the slate.
I just hate teasing favorites, especially those two deep ones.
Yeah, but we just talked through those matchups and we think there's no way they don't cover.
Yeah, true. I definitely think the Chiefs. I like that Chiefs spread more than this Cowboys spread, just because the Chiefs are home.
Really? The Cowboys are the hottest team in the NFL right now, though. They're firing on all cylinders.
Already Sunday night football. It's time. Sunday, 8 p.m. Pittsburgh Steelers in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, heading to see the Raiders. The Raiders are the favorite here, 2.5 points. Their money line, minus 138. Steelers money line, plus 118. The total sitting at 43. Trends I got here: Raiders 9-3 against the spread in their last 12 games against Pittsburgh. Steelers 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games, as well as their last 6 games on the road. And the Raiders have failed to cover 6 straight Week 3 games. So some trends going each which direction. Huff, why don't you start us off? Steelers in the prime time in Vegas. Kind of wish we were going to this one, but I'm excited for the game next week as well. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I obviously I'm very excited for this game. You get to see the Steelers out there in Vegas in that new stadium. Steelers and Raiders always give you a classic matchup. Obviously, Steelers coming to this 1 and 2.5 point underdog. Sunday Night Football. I always like my Steelers in the prime time. My prime time play. I'm already looking for the number I can get. The 21.5. The Steelers busted me on it last week with that. The defensive touchdowns. They always kill the first half under. I don't think I've ever hit a first half under where there's been a defensive touchdown in the first half. I'm going to go right back to the well. Sunday Night Football, under 21.5 in the first half. I like the Steelers to win the game, but same as last week. I'm more confident in these first half unders than picking the winner in these primetime games. I'm going to go the Steelers, the first half under, and just give me the Steelers the money line as well.
Yeah, I like that first half under as well. I'm gonna actually definitely be riding that with you this week. After that showing that they had last week in the prime time, I think a lot of people think it's gonna happen again, but definitely gonna be a more slow paced game. Careful for Jimmy Garoppolo though in that prime time.
Yeah,
On his home,
that's why I'm not huge on the Steelers to win this game. It'd be so Steelers to lose this game, in my
yeah,
opinion.
your first game out of Hines on the season, coming off a pretty nice win. I think a lot of people are a little higher on the Steelers right now than they probably should be because that offense really hasn't done much. But that defense can only take you so far. This is a weird line. I think the Steelers should probably be -1, but they're sitting at +2.5. Um, I don't have a side yet on this one, but I definitely do lean the under full game and first half.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. I think I texted in the group chat earlier today. I see the Steelers in the prime time again. I'm tempted to take them, and I think I'm going to. I don't know if you'll see it on my card again, same as last week. That offense being putrid really scares me. The fact that Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams can get in if they want to. I think Jacoby Myers will be back as well. Um, and he looked good in their first week, one win over the Broncos. So I don't think this one's going to be easy. Definitely check into our socials for my favorite plays, but I think there'll be a turnover or two by Jimmy Garoppolo. Maybe look at that Steelers defensive score touchdown. Get a nice line on that. Probably one of the lower ones in the NFL, especially after last week. But I think they're going to be hanging around, and these two teams are pretty close in the power rankings, in my opinion. So this is going to be a big one for both of them.
Lots of good stuff coming into Sunday Night Football. Real excited about that matchup in Vegas featuring my Steelers. Let's keep it going here. 2 games on Monday, 7:15, 8:15. The first one being the Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Eagles are the favorite here, 4.5 points. I think that line's moved around a little bit. Maybe not. Eagles money line -230. Bucks money line +190. Total at an even 46. Bucks 2-9 against the spread, 1-10 straight up in their last 11 games in Week 3. Eagles 22-3 straight up in their last 25 games as the favorite. And the Eagles have won 10 straight as road chalk, but just 4-9 against the spread in those 10. What are we thinking? First Monday Night Football game, the early matchup, 7:15. Ace, do you want to start us on this one?
I'll get us started here. Obviously, Monday Night Football. These are two 2-0 teams. This is a pretty good matchup here. Obviously, I don't think Ace is definitely the highest on this Bucks team of all of us, but I haven't doubted them at all. I took them. I did take them off the card last week against that Bears team. I think Baker Mayfield might be able to stun the world on Monday Night Football and win this matchup. I like the Buccaneers to cover this 4.5 points, possibly even give the Eagles their first loss on the year. I know that's obviously kind of high, riding high on recency bias with this Buccaneers team, but this defense has given me every reason to kind of believe in this team. And Baker Mayfield in the prime time, he's done it before. Give me him to cover the 4.5. I'm not going to take the money line, but I'll take the 4.5 points.
Yeah, this is definitely an opportunity for the Bucks to get some noise in Jalen Hurts' ear. I think he can be very frustrated all night. I don't know if I could take the -4.5 though. I mean, Baker Mayfield's been playing pretty good football, dishing the rock to Mike Evans. Mike Evans is putting up some crazy numbers, but This Eagles defense is no joke as well, so it's definitely going to be a defensive battle in this one, I think. I lean the under 46.5 in the prime time. I think it's a good under opportunity. I wouldn't jump the gun on Buccaneers plus 4.5 yet, but I think it's definitely that's a good line on this one. I think it's going to be a pretty close game down the stretch. See if the Bucks could backdoor cover here. I don't really see an opportunity for the Bucks to come out on top, but it could be a really good game.
Yeah, I've been
I
high on
agree.
these Bucks for this season coming in. Not high. I'm not high on them. I don't think they're going to win the
Higher.
division. Higher, yeah. I think they're going to hit their win total over. I really do. And their defense has shown out and carried them to 2 victories so far. I think they're going to have a good day again. But at the same time, I think AJ Brown's going to silence some of the critics after last week. He was seen shouting at Jalen Hurts on the sideline, Sirianni playing it down. But I was talking about this earlier on the podcast. That Eagles team at 3, I think they have the best football in front of them. This is a get right matchup for them. I think Baker Mayfield might come back down to earth a little bit. He's been playing out of his mind. Mike Evans is a handful. We know that, but I think they match up very well with them. The Eagles on both sides of the ball. I think it's gonna be a grimy one in the trenches though for the Eagles. That D line for the Bucks really can eat. They have some good linebackers as well. But I like the Eagles to get the win here. I think they should be able to cover the points. There could be a chance that the Eagles pop off and blow them out here and make a statement game that they're for real, especially against another 2-0 team. I
Gotta
think a
start
lot of
giving Mike Evans a lot more respect. I mean, he does it with everyone. Jameis Winston, Fitzpatrick, give him Tom
he's too
Brady.
good not to. He's huge. He's athletic.
So
It doesn't matter who his quarterback is. He's gonna put up the numbers. Everyone was scared to take him
Just
in
throw it
fantasy
up
this
to him.
year because of Baker Mayfield throwing him the football, but he's putting up better numbers now than he did with Tom Brady.
We know Baker likes to chuck. He'll throw it up to his receiver deep every time. It's just if he hits him. And with Mike Evans, it's not hard to miss.
Big body.
Yeah, but I think a lot of these NFC South teams could fall to 2-1 after this week.
Ace, would you be surprised if the Bucks steal this thing in the prime time?
Yeah, I think I would be.
I'd be surprised as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they covered, but it's definitely a possibility. I don't see it happening. I mean, if the Eagles need a last minute drive, 2-minute drill, Jalen Hurts is probably getting points.
You think the Eagles are good though? I think the Eagles are really good. There's a reason they're
Yeah, the
top
Eagles,
3 in
of
our
course,
power
the Eagles are
rankings.
good, but they are playing worse football than I expected. Actually, I wouldn't
They
say
might
that I
try and
expect them
silence
to
the
out of it.
critics like us that are putting the Cowboys ahead of them in the power rankings because they're a really good team. Those Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't know. I think
Cowboys defense makes them that much better than I don't care. And the Eagles could win this game by
But
25
the Eagles
points.
need a statement game.
Yeah, but the Cowboys have already had 2 statement games.
Yeah, but the Eagle. That's what I'm saying. No, I'm just saying to catch up in the race because they're actually really good too. I'm the only one that picked the Cowboys to win the division. I'm definitely agreeing with you, but I think
I still think. I mean, the Eagles are 2-0. I still think the Eagles could win this division. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. I mean, they're kind of the same thing. Where I could see them
regular
slip up some
season
games they're
goats.
supposed to. Yeah, but I could see them slip up some games they're supposed to, especially in. I mean,
That's
they
why
do
I'm
it
waiting
every
for
year.
Week 9. That head to head. Yeah, slipping up against the Patriots in Week 4, but they'll make up for it in Week 9 against the Eagles. That's how I foresee it happening. But honestly, I think the Eagles' offense is going to pop here. We saw Devontae Smith and Swift last week. Where's Goddard? Where's Brown? Too many guys being too quiet so far. Hurts had the 2 touchdown game. Maybe I'll primetime card a Hurts touchdown again because of the illegal play they use. But it works nonetheless. This will be a fun one. I don't think Swift reproduces that production. I don't think he has that production again this week like he did against Minnesota.
the schedule makers made this one. They weren't expecting a 2-0
Yeah.
matchup. Or
There's
two
no way
2-0
they'd have the
teams
2-0
going through it.
teams at the 7:15 slate.
You're right about that. This next matchup's an interesting one. Monday, 8:15 p.m. Rams at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals the favorite here, 2.5 points for them. Their money line minus 146. Rams money line plus 124. Total at 43.5. The trends I got here under 9-2 in the past 11 meetings between these clubs. Rams are 19-5 straight up in their last 24 games played in September. Bengals 1-6 straight up in their last 7 games played on a Monday. Ace, why don't you get us rolling on this final game that we're going to review here on the podcast? What do you got for us Monday, 8:15 p.m. Rams at Bengals?
Yeah, I mean, I'm eager to hear it from Mackey and Huff first. They're high on these Rams. I think the Rams are terrible. But is there any chance they can beat Joe Burrow, or is Joe Burrow and those flashy Cincinnati Bengals going 0-3?
I don't know. I think it's
I don't know. I think the Bengals get their revenge in this Super Bowl rematch. I especially if Burrow plays. I know there's talks of them possibly sitting him for this week. to let him fully get right. Obviously, they don't think he's 100% right now. So I've read a couple reports where they think they might sit him and wait. Obviously, they're 0-2 in the
He's
division.
gonna be hurt until he plays good football, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I feel. But I mean, as a Steeler fan, let him sit, and I think the Rams could maybe steal this. But if Burrow plays, I think they get their revenge.
I don't think there's
Yeah, I
any
mean,
chance he's sitting.
Burrow just needs to get that first win under his belt. I think it's a good opportunity against one of the weaker defenses. He needs to put up the numbers. He needs to get things going. I don't even think he threw for over 100 passing yards last week. Or maybe I'm wrong about that, but 2 weeks ago, we definitely didn't. Um, he just needs to get back in the swing of things. Him and Jamar Chase need to get things going. Joe Mixon, just get that offense going. This team's gonna be fine. I don't know if it's gonna happen tonight or this, Monday night game, but, I just can't throw money on this Bengals team when they look like this, so I'll wait till I see them, get back to Cincinnati Bengals form from 2 years ago or last year, and, um, and then I can start throwing money on this team, but, I don't really have a plan on this one.
I think I'm gonna buy back into those Bengals. I hate it because they're playing awful. Why would you buy in on a team that's losing? You got to ride with the streak, not against it. But I really think they get to 1-2. Huff, I love that take you said about the Super Bowl rematch. I actually love that. What does a team need? It needs some type of bulletin board material when everything backs against the wall, nothing going your way. A lot of people down on you. Great opportunity for them to step up against a weaker LA Rams team, in my opinion. But one thing that makes me err on the side of caution is you saw Jamar Chase a little frustrated. Maybe Joe Burrow answers the call. He says we got to throw the ball deep a bit more. Little shot at the offensive play calling so far. But I do think they get this one done. It might not be pretty, but it's a primetime game. Joe Burrow owes him one from the Super Bowl. Huff, I'm riding. I think I'm going to card Bengals -2.5.
That's definitely how I'm leaning.
It's going to be a great week of football. 16 games here this week. No teams on the bye just yet. But make sure to check out our live stream on Sunday morning, 10 a.m., live just about everywhere. So you can see our 5 favorite games and all our best bets on those, as well as check out our social media for all our picks or all our official picks as we release those throughout the day. Let's jump into some other news here. Jumping into the MLB, our power rankings are the same as last week. 5, the Houston Astros; 4, the Tampa Bay Rays; 3, the Los Angeles Dodgers; 2, the Baltimore Orioles; and 1, the everlasting Atlanta Braves. What are you guys thinking about the power rankings here coming into this week as they all stay the same?
Mackie, you were calling for these Houston Astros to get swept today, and they stick around. They were able to sneak one out in Baltimore. Not easy to go into Baltimore this year, and the Orioles
No,
have been
dude,
able to defend their home field. And I don't know. Go ahead.
it was in Houston.
Oh, I thought it was in. I thought they were in
got
Baltimore.
swept on their home field. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm such a
damn! I thought.
cocksucker, dude. With the second I say something, they put up 2 runs.
Yeah, you can't
game
jinx that
2-1.
stuff.
I'm such a dickhead. I knew it too.
Why would you ever say that? Did you have money on it?
Yeah, I
No,
truly
I
thought
didn't.
that.
Dude, I was gonna throw on it, and then I was like, nah, I can't double lose this one. So
The line
I,
was
for
too
some
weird for
reason,
me.
I thought it was in Baltimore because weren't the Astros underdogs in this game?
yeah, I think
No, it was
I
like
think it was
even.
Kyle Bradish was -120.
I thought it was
Uh,
even.
Close line, but I
Yeah,
think it was
Baltimore was
moving.
-120.
Yeah, but I did. Baltimore's good. They're playing incredible baseball. They just beat one of the best teams in the league. Should have swept them. Took them 2 out of 3 on their home field. So, those Astros need to win some games. They got a few big series coming up. So
Let's revisit this in a month if they match up in the playoffs. I'm still telling you, Mackie, you do not want to see the Houston Astros in the
oh,
playoffs.
100%. But that's big. I mean, that Astros against good teams usually show up, and the Orioles just showed them that they're not a fluke. They're actually one of the best teams in the league.
Besides that, I mean, we talked about these 5 teams last week. I want to talk about the wild card races we have going a bit. Who do you guys think comes out of those on either side?
I was looking at the schedules, and I really think the Blue Jays fall out. I think 3 teams out of the AL West find a way to make it into these playoffs. Blue Jays have to play the Yankees twice and the Rays once, so you're playing divisional matchups. You don't think the Yankees want to spoil that for those Blue Jays? All 3 AL West teams are playing some really good baseball, and they're all trying to win
They
that division.
deserve it
So
too.
the problem is they kind of all play each other as well. Mariners go into 2 series. They play Rangers, Astros, Rangers to finish off the season. So it's going to be close. It's going to be a really good race to the finish in that AL. But
If there's an odd man out, who do you think it is from the West?
probably the Mariners.
Rangers seem like they're heating up with their bats again, which was really carrying them
Yeah,
earlier in
they
the
had
year.
they did
Adolis
have a
Garcia's back.
they did have a 4-game losing streak
Hit a
going
home
into
run last
last
night.
night, but
Yeah.
they've won the last 2. Bats are back again. They are probably the strongest. Well, Mariners probably the weakest team in the division, but they're sitting right there,
They
right?
can all hit.
Or not in the division, out of those 3 teams, but they're sitting right there, and they just need to finish off the last 10 games of the season strong. I mean,
They
this
have
will
the
become
better
healthy,
pitching
right?
staff, I think, than the Rangers. It's close. Luis
I don't
Castillo's
know.
good.
Not with that. I don't know about with adding Scherzer.
Well,
Wait, who are you
isn't
talking
Scherzer
about?
out?
Who are you talking about? The
I'm
Mariners or
saying
the
the Mariners
Astros?
have a better staff than the Rangers.
Oh, is Scherzer out? Oh yeah, you're right. He is. I'm such an
Yeah.
idiot.
But Evaldi's back.
But yeah. So with Scherzer out, yeah, I'd probably say so.
I
Those
agree.
Mariners
Luis
pitchers are good.
Castillo's
They got
been
a nice
lights out.
The
rotation.
Rangers have just been hitting lights out the past two, especially today. What was it, 14 to something I saw?
Yeah,
or
Yeah, it's
whatever?
only the
15,
last 2
6.
days though.
Yeah, some teams are selling, like the Red Sox right now got a lot of bums in. But on the other side of the ball in the National League, I'm really hoping those Reds can get in.
Let me look at it real quick. I know it's like 4 teams within one game. Yeah,
Mackie, right
Giants are
now,
Giants
yeah,
are
go ahead.
sliding right now, dude. I think they're
Yeah.
falling off. That team's not really good enough. Um, I think the 3 teams in right now are gonna stay in. I think the
I was
Cubs.
going to say, I'd like to see those 3 teams stay in. Maybe the Marlins slide in, but I like this Cubs team.
Yeah, this Cubs team. I mean, they slid a little right there. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They just came off 4 or 5 game losing streak. You got to finish the season strong. I like their lineup matched up against the other teams that are on the outside looking in. So, um, yeah, you just got to finish the season strong. They got the Rockies coming up, and they play the Braves and the Brewers. So it's not the easiest schedule, but gotta get the job done. What do the Marlins got? Marlins got Brewers, Mets, Pirates. So the Marlins get to finish the season against 2 teams that are not in the playoffs. This could be close. It's gonna come down to the wire.
I'd like to see the Marlins get in. I mean, I'm a fan of the Marlins, but D-backs right there too, right?
D-backs are in right now. They're a game up on
And
the Cubs.
Corbin Carroll's been going off lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Yeah, they're on a 5 game heater too. I mean, they're playing really good baseball right now. They just swept the Giants.
I had him last night with Zach Gallen.
Who do they got? Who's their series with? I know they play the Astros the last week of the season.
They play
last series of
today,
the
or they're already
season.
playing, right?
They play the Yankees and the White Sox, and then the Astros at home. They get the Astros at home. So those are going to be games they have to win as well. Hopefully, they can win those 2 series against the Yankees and White Sox on the road for both of them. So
This will be fun to watch down the stretch.
Another little tidbit here in the MLB. Ohtani will not pitch until 2025. Plans to hit next year. Is he done in LA after clearing out his locker earlier this year? Here I saw pictures and things like that. What are you guys thinking about this one here out of LA?
500
So what
mil.
kind of,
Still
what kind of
500
contracts
mil.
you
Still
think?
500 mil.
I don't
Yeah.
know, dude. This is bad. Just
We'll
keeps getting
see.
worse for him. I think he'll sit right around 500 mil. I really thought he was getting over him, and now he might just
Under.
be right under. But if I wouldn't be confident in that under. I mean, this guy's still worth the money.
I think
I
he is
know,
too.
but
The
he just took
face,
away
the
half of
face
his
is so
game.
important to have. You can make so much money off him. And he has a hitter. He's the second best hitter in the MLB besides Ronald Acuna Jr., the only one
Ooh,
better
I
than
don't
him.
know. You got Freddie Freeman.
Before he was hurt, he was leading the league in home runs. Average, he was super
Oh,
high.
best hitters in the league. I'd say he's not
It
top
was him
2.
and Acuna were the top ranked hitters in the MLB this year before he went out.
OPS wise.
But yeah, that's tough news. Love watching that guy pitch.
Moving off the MLB here, shifting our focus to the NHL. Aces Boston Bruins have signed a captain here. 2011 Stanley Cup champion, homegrown superstar Brad Marchand has been named the captain of the Boston Bruins. Ace, what are you thinking about this one? Pretty good move. I think we kind of predicted this one, but what are you thinking?
Yeah, I know a lot of us Boston heads were thinking that we might get one of the young guys, but you can't disrespect the GOAT. I mean, one of the legends of the Bruins, the Rat. I mean, iconic face of the Bruins. Hopefully, he can bring that tendency and style to the locker room and keep the same mentality he plays with on the ice. But he deserved it. He's been there his whole career. Homegrown 2011 Stanley Cup champ, right hand man of Patrice Bergeron. So he learned all the ways. The 2 youngins getting the A's there, so we know one of them will eventually step into that role with their big contracts. But happy to see it, and those Centennial jerseys look amazing for the Bruins. So probably gonna have to buy one of those.
I told you can't disrespect Brad Marchand here and not give him a C.
Yeah, that's a good
Sets
point.
sets the tone every game. Guy deserves it. He's been there the longest as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't got much else to say on this. It's just kind of, I think, I forget who predicted this. I think Ace, you kind
Mackey.
of talked me into me
Mackey.
saying McAvoy, but Mackey, you were the one saying Marchand the whole time. But
Yeah, you gotta
yeah,
give
definitely deserved. No, nothing to argue here.
Solid stuff for Marchand. Great stuff. Hopefully he fills the role quickly here, and that team has another solid run out of him. Into the college football world, we have Colorado star two-way player Travis Hunter expected to miss 3 weeks after suffering an injury in Saturday's primetime matchup versus Colorado State. Colorado heads to Eugene to take on the Oregon Ducks this weekend. Colorado keep things close without their star player. Travis Hunter out 3 weeks. Tough one there. Something about his spleen, right? Or like
Yeah, he
something
took a
crazy.
a pretty cheap hit. The dude was trying to fucking hurt him. It was a scumbag move.
It's
But
terrible.
That
I was
sucks.
big on
I don't
I
think
was
he was
big on
trying to.
Colorado.
I don't think he was
It
trying
was
to hurt him. He was trying to set a tone.
He's trying to send a message for sure. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he's
pop
trying to set a
him
tone.
like out
He
of
might
all
have
sent a
people.
message on the best player on the field when he's not really. Yeah, I mean, I get
It's
it.
not-
I
it-
understand.
Buddy, have fun watching Travis
It's
Hunter in
football,
3-4
dude.
years from now.
It's football though. I don't really. I think he probably should have made sure he didn't injure him if you're going to take a cheap shot. But you got to set a tone there. It's a close game. It's early in the game. They're already winning by 7 points. Take some advantage. Take an advantage if you can. Even Deion Sanders backing him up. I mean, he's an athlete. He's trying to make a name for himself. You're at Colorado State. You're playing one of the biggest games you're ever going to play in your life. Make a name for yourself. Get your name out there because nobody knew who he was before, and now everyone's talking about him.
Yeah, but not for a good reason. No one will ever know who that kid is ever again. But I my thing with this one is I was looking for Oregon coming into this week as a potential upset for Colorado, and without their, my opinion, their best player. I mean, they still got Shedeur Sanders, the stud quarterback out there doing his thing, but I don't know if I'm going to be all over these Buffaloes this week like I thought I was going to be with the duo of Hunter and Shedeur out there.
Going to be a good weekend of college football as well as a good weekend of NFL, but I got 1 point here from last weekend's college football. The Colorado versus Colorado State game last weekend broke records, finishing up around 2:30 a.m. Eastern, came in as the most streamed college football game of all time on ESPN. Drew in a cool 9.3 million people. Put that in perspective, the last time these teams met was in 2019, only pulled 1.28 million. So the hype around this Colorado team is real as we continue to talk about them each and every week. But I thought that was a very, very cool stat.
How do they do these numbers? Is that 9.3 million people watching or like TVs on that channel?
It is technically TVs.
Well, they can't tell you how many people are watching each.
Well, they can, Mackie.
They're
They
going to
can
tell me there's
estimate.
7 people in my living room watching the game.
It's not. It's called the Nielsen.
They have like a way
data.
they have like a way to
Yeah,
at least a
they
formula
use
to
census
estimate
data,
it.
and they know how many people live in your house, so they can estimate how many people are in your house watching that TV, so the number gets inflated. Or, like in your case, you're right. How they know there's 7 people in your living room? Well, they don't. But if you have 4 people living in your house
They're estimating you have 4 people, at least 4 people watching it.
watching it,
If it's on your TV. You know what I mean?
Fake numbers. I'm never listening to this shit again.
That's why I believe the TV when it's TV numbers, not people. Like how many TVs were on? 9.3 million fucking TVs.
and this is just on ESPN. So
yeah,
who knows? I
that's
mean,
pretty crazy.
I assume it was on ESPN Plus, things
I
like
was
that.
more.
So
I guess I was more surprised that they used to get 1.2 million. Those are 2 terrible football programs until this year when Colorado got the deal.
but if it's the game on ESPN,
Yeah, true.
people are clicking on it.
Yeah,
They're
like
clicking
I
on
just leave ESPN on. It could be. I'm one of those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're counting, watching it, right? So very interesting stuff there out of the college football world. But I think that's just going to about wrap up everything we got this week, boys. Lots to look forward to as we dive deep into week 3. Make sure to check out our deep dive into the Thursday night football game. Here it will be released early tomorrow morning, same time about this podcast. Our Sunday live stream at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning, live everywhere: YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Rumble, Twitch, and Twitter. Lots to look forward to there as we jump into our 5 favorite games there and our deep dive into Monday Night Football on Monday morning. That's all I got, boys. You guys got anything else to add before we get on out of here?
No, big
No,
week
it's
of
gonna do
football
it for-
ahead. Let's roll. I'm hyped.
Yeah, get
Before we know
Steelers
it-
in prime time again. Let's go.
Before we
I'm
know
gonna
it,
lead
yeah.
that card again. I'm gonna lead that card again. Book it right here, right now.
All right, we'll see.
Alrighty, that's it. See you guys next week.